Well, hello, my friends. It's Wednesday, and I come on live to do this live stream every Wednesday at noon Pacific time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern. And I'm just going to double check on my phone that I am, in fact, seeing myself in the right place, and I am going to jump right in. I know that you are very busy, and I take that very seriously. And so I'm going to jump right in to today's topic, which is an incredible celebration of my Pattern Design Academy graduates. So if you're here live with me, jump into the comments so that I can say hello back. But let's get started. Over the past 9 weeks, an incredible group of Pattern Design Academy students has worked really hard. They've stretched their creativity and they have built something extraordinary. And they are going to be graduating on Friday from my Pattern Design Academy program, which is a 9-week program where they learn how to take their doodles and sketches and designs and turn them into repeating patterns so that they can put them on fabric, so that they could create a line of shirts like I have, or on paper products, including wrapping paper, note cards, all kinds of opportunities in this really, really big industry that most people have never heard of that's called surface pattern design. So as we celebrate their graduation this week, and our graduation party is on Friday, I wanted to shine a spotlight on their progress, what they've created, and what comes next in their creative journey. Because if you're a part of my community, you probably have taken Doodles before, and you might be ready to go even deeper in my Academy program. And I just want to share the incredible transformation that has taken place for this group so that this can be a reality for you as well. Watching this group of dedicated creative artists transform from tentative beginners into confident surface pattern designers is always an incredible joy. I love teaching the Pattern Design Academy program because we're together for a longer period of time. And each week, I've had a front row seat to witness breakthroughs, aha moments, and the beautiful evolution of their creative confidence. Today, I want to share what I've observed, and I also want to celebrate not just where these students have arrived, but the courage that it took to begin. And so here's a big headline for you. There's so much joy watching artists discover that they can do hard things. And if you've been here for a minute, you know that that is one of my favorite expressions, that we can do hard things. And so when these students first joined the Pattern Design Academy, they came to me fresh from Doodles to Dollars coaching week. They had created their very first repeating pattern using Adobe Illustrator, most for the very, very first time. And they were still questioning whether they could really handle the technical side of surface pattern design. And I remember hearing the fear in their voices during our first group call, thinking things like, what if I'm not tech savvy enough? Or what if Adobe Illustrator is too complicated for me? But here's the thing. 9 weeks later, I am watching these same artists navigate complex pattern repeats with confidence. They're making sophisticated decisions about color palettes and troubleshooting their own design challenges. They've proved to themselves, and also to me, but much more importantly to themselves, that they truly can do hard things when we take things one baby step at a time. What strikes me most is how they've embraced the process rather than fixating on perfection. In the middle of the program, I provided some encouragement as students had to rework patterns because they had a deeper understanding of how to bring their vision to life. But they also, in the beginning, we all make a lot of mistakes and have to learn how to fix them. And instead of getting frustrated, they said, you know what? I know how to do this differently. I have additional skills. I'm going to go back to the drawing board and I'm going to create some new work. And that mindset shift makes all of the difference. From seeing sort of iterations as slow progress to viewing them as actually becoming part of the mastery process, that practice and with iteration comes mastery. Now, one of the things that's so special about my programs is the very, very small class size. It makes my course stand apart from others, and it also allows me to review every single design that students create. That means that I've been able to watch their sophistication grow week by week, not just in technical execution, but in their artistic choices. That means their motif placement has become more intentional. Their color palette selections have grown more confident and more nuanced. And most importantly, they have stayed the course, no pun intended, showing up week after week, even when the learning curve feels really steep, or even when stuff happens. They have to go to a wedding, or they're going to a graduation, or someone gets sick. And listen, what the best approach of all is just to keep things simple and to build the complexity gradually, which is what I do. And my 5-minute video lessons allow students to absorb new concepts without the overwhelm. And I, of course, am the cheerleader in chief, and so my constant reinforcement of their progress has also really enabled them to see their own growth and to celebrate their progress. As one student recently told me, I've never thought that I'd be the kind of person who could create something this beautiful and technical at the same time. So here's another thing I would love you to consider, and that is that magic happens when you trust the process. So throughout these 9 weeks, I have had the privilege of getting into the trenches with these students, reviewing their Adobe Illustrator files because they can send them to me directly, and then I create a personalized video that gives them feedback and also shows them exactly what they need to do next to either refine their pattern or to fix a mistake. I love to call this putting on my Sherlock Holmes hat so that together we can figure out why a pattern isn't repeating correctly or why their colors aren't working perfectly together. And I get to witness that magical moment when understanding clicks into place. And the work that they have created speaks to their dedication and to the growth that they've experienced over these 9 weeks. Patterns that started as simple exercises have evolved into sophisticated designs ready for fabric and paper products. They have created gorgeous florals, geometric patterns with unexpected color combinations, and whimsical motifs that could only have come from artists who are learning to trust their creative instinct. What impresses me the most isn't just the quality of their final designs, although those are beautiful. It's their willingness to iterate, to accept the feedback, and to push through moments when Adobe Illustrator felt like it was speaking a different language. They have learned that action brings clarity, and each pattern that they've completed has informed the next one they made. One student shared with me that she used to avoid anything that seemed too technical, but now she looks forward to solving what she calls pattern puzzles. Another mentioned that she's starting to see potential patterns everywhere in the shadow of leaves or the falling fall leaves, in architectural details, in fabric textures at the grocery store. This is what happens when we move from consuming to observing. And the whole world becomes a source of inspiration. So, what's very exciting now is that this creative growth that they've experienced is now positioning them where they're ready to move into business strategy. And as these students celebrate their graduation from the Pattern Design Academy, many of them are asking, well, what comes next? They've built a very strong foundation in pattern design, but they're also hungry to understand how to turn their newfound skills into sustainable creative businesses. And this is where I get truly excited because, as I mentioned before, with iteration comes mastery. And I know that some of these graduates are ready to join my Anne's Atelier membership program. So for my Pattern Design Academy graduates, this represents the perfect next step. They've proven that they can learn complex skills. They've demonstrated their commitment to the creative process, and they've started to build a body of work. And that is what the membership is all about. It's continuing to build that body of work while also starting to put in place some of the foundational elements of their creative businesses. And that positions them and potentially you to share their work with the world in a way that creates both income and impact. And it's never too late to move into your next chapter. So whether you're celebrating alongside my Pattern Design Academy graduates, or you're still in the dreaming phase of your creative journey, I want you to know that it's never too late to create the life and the business that you dream of. And if you're just getting started and wondering if you could ever create professional quality patterns, then the best way for you to dip your toes into the surface pattern design waters is to watch out for the next enrollment of my From Doodles to Dollars coaching week. It's the best place to start because I take you by the hand and I show you step by step how to create your very first repeating pattern using Adobe Illustrator. And it's the best way for you to discover if surface pattern design is in fact something that is igniting your creativity and if it is something that you want to pursue further. If you've actually already been through Doodles and you've also been in either you're in this Pattern Design Academy cohort and you're here with me right now, or you're watching the replay, or you've taken the Academy in the past, then I would love for you to explore my membership, Anne's Atelier. And the word atelier means creative studio in French. And all you need to do is to go to members.artwithanne.com/membership to get all of the details that you know. Enrollment is open until Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific, which is 8 p.m. Eastern. And it's so important to remember that progress is a continual process, and we are always moving towards mastery. And every expert was once a beginner who decided to take that next right step. Every successful creative business started with someone who chose courage over comfort and trusted that with the right guidance and mentor, they would make progress more quickly. To my graduating Pattern Design Academy students, you've already proven that you can do hard things. You've stretched your creativity, you've mastered new technical skills, and you've created work that makes the world more beautiful. Whatever comes next in your creative journey, carry this confidence with you. You have earned it. And to everyone else who is listening to me today, your creative dreams are also valid. Your timing is perfect because now's a great time to learn about surface design right before the holiday season. And your unique perspective on design is exactly what the world needs. And the question isn't whether you're ready, it's really whether you're willing to begin. And here's what I know for sure. When you combine diligence with the right level of instruction, and you add a dash of courage and a commitment to showing up, magical things happen. I see it every single day in my programs, and I cannot wait to see what you create next. I always like to say in closing that I am Anne LaFollette, and it's never too late to create. So if you'd like to explore the Anne's Atelier membership, just go to members.artwithanne.com/membership, and all the details are there for you. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.